When the Wii U was first announced, Ubisoft talked about bringing an exclusive first-person shooter to the system that was known as Killer Freaks from Outer Space. Yet the year of the Wii U's launch, Ubisoft changed their plans with this alien shooter.
There's been a change of plan.
And so, Killer Freaks evolved into a survival horror game with zombies. But not just a survival horror game, a survival horror game designed specifically around the abilities of the Wii U and its gamepad. So here we are with ZombiU for the Wii U. The story is that a zombie outbreak has taken over the city of London. As a random survivor, you have to go through different parts of the city to find supplies and hopefully find a way to escape. There is some deeper story with the Black Prophecy and the Ravens of D, but the point is that you have to survive this nightmare. You're not some trained army guy either. You're just an average Joe who is scared out of his mind and has to learn quickly if he or she wants to make it out alive. Your only real ally is this voice over your radio who calls himself the Prepper, a man who claims that he knows how to deal with the outbreak and help you survive it.
I know what we need to do, and I know how to get it done.
The graphics for ZombiU are decent, but they definitely could have used more polish. You notice the most when you get up close to a zombie or a wall. You see muddy textures and blockiness on character models. So from a good distance, the graphics look like a good-looking Wii U game, but up close, it looks more like a Wii game. However, the game does boast great particle effects and lighting, as the dark lighting, sometimes accompanied by flickering light sources, adds good tension and suspense to your surroundings. During combat, some tense music is used. When there aren't any zombies approaching you though, there is no music, and you hear only the ambient sounds of your surroundings, so you feel a sense of being alone in a dead world. Well, except for the dead people who aren't staying dead. The sound effects and voice acting, what little there is of it, aren't anything special, but still good. Most of what you hear voice-wise is the Prepper guiding you, and the heavy breathing and screaming of your character during combat. I have to say though, the zombie sounds are actually pretty scary. They're less like the stereotypical groaning zombies and more like the screeching, hissing zombies we see nowadays. Some critics have treated this game too much like a first-person shooter when they've reviewed it. I, on the other hand, want to make this one thing clear right now. This is not some Call of Duty Zombies campaign game. This is not a first-person shooter. If you approach this game expecting an FPS game, you'll be very disappointed. This is a first-person survival horror game. Ammo is scarce, gunfire makes noise draws a lot of zombies your way. While it is fun to kill the zombies, it's smarter to avoid combat when and if you can. Like a true survival horror game, you have to think about being cautious, conserving your supplies, being stealthy so you don't bring a horde on you, and most importantly, not dying. This brings up a key difference between ZombiU and most games. If you die in this game, you don't spawn back as your same character from a checkpoint and try again. When your character dies, he or she is dead for good.
Game over.
You then wake up as a whole new survivor at the safe house, once again starting with little more than a cricket bat, a flashlight, and a handgun with few bullets. Then you have to find your zombified self, kill it, and loot it to get back all the supplies you lost. But if you die again before that, your previous zombified self will be gone, and you'll have to search through London looking for more supplies to help you. That's when you'll be really grateful for the sewer fast travel points you can find. These consequences give much more impact to dying, and thus intensify the fear and suspense. Now I'll be honest, this is a hard game to beat without dying. I mean, another part of the fear is knowing that somehow, somewhere, regardless of what supplies you have or how good you think you are, you're going to die.
So why am I still alive?
You were saying?
Fuck you.
But one thing that's annoying is that if a zombie grabs you to kill you, you can't fight back unless you have a viricide shot. So as soon as a zombie grabs you, you're bitten, which is so not cool. The trailer for this game had shown a feature of using the gamepad to shake off a zombie that grabbed you. That's what I would do, fight that biter off me. But apparently this feature ended up not being put in the final game. You lied to me. The game as a whole is fun to play, but another flaw is in the melee weapons, or rather weapon. Every survivor is given a cricket bat for bashing some zombie heads. It is good because it's quieter and you can use it as much as you want, but since a lot of zombies can take up to 8 hits before dying, Using the cricket bat to kill zombies starts to feel monotonous. A nice way to mix things up and keep the whole scarce ammo concept would have been to include more melee weapons you can find, like a knife or, I don't know, maybe the pickaxe shown in the trailer? Fortunately, you can roll like Daryl Dixon and use your crossbow, once you find it. This is one of my personal favorite weapons in the game for how accurate it is and how well it kills the undead. Not to mention you can loot the zombie you just killed to get your arrow back and use it again. You know what? Fuck the cricket bat, I'm using the crossbow! Aside from only being able to do the same downward swing with the cricket bat, the game controls pretty well. People expecting a first-person shooter will be annoyed that you have to aim your gun before you can actually shoot it, but again, this is survival horror. This is not a game where it would be wise to shoot from the hip even if you could, although I kinda feel like a manual crouch button would have been nice to help with being stealthy. ZombiU is one Wii U game that really puts the gamepad to use, so much so that you won't find any off-TV play here. First, it's a map of where you are along with a radar ping. It's a lot like the motion detector in Aliens, and just as suspenseful when something moving is detected and slowly getting closer. You also use the gamepad for item management, primarily sorting through your survival backpack known as the bug out bag, or BOB for short. So when you manage your inventory or loot a zombie or box for supplies, the game doesn't pause like older survival horror games, which leaves you vulnerable. This further immerses you in the game's world, since at any time a zombie can walk up and attack you while you're going through supplies or picking a lock or doing anything else on the gamepad. This motivates you to continually look over your shoulder and be aware of what's around you. One last use of the gamepad is to use it as a scanner. With this, you can look all around you and scan for items to pick up, doors to open, devices to hack, nearby zombies, and wall drawings needed for solving some of the game's puzzles. There are actually other wall drawings you'll find besides the puzzle-related ones, and this is where the game's online component comes in. While there's no online multiplayer in the traditional sense, there is connectivity in the form of being able to spray paint messages on walls for other players to see. These messages you read from other players can either be helpful or misleading, so be careful with who you trust. Another interesting online feature is that you can actually encounter the zombified versions of other players, then kill them and loot them of whatever they had on them when they died. This, along with leaving messages, forms another sense of realism in that other people just like you are trying to survive this horror, and the ones you encounter are the ones who didn't make it. There's also a local multiplayer mode called King of Zombies. This is where one player with the gamepad is the King of Zombies, while another player is a survivor playing on the TV using either a Wii U Pro Controller or a Wii Remote and Nunchuck. The gamepad player can place different types of zombies throughout the map to attack the TV player, who starts the match with his choice of pre-made weapon loadouts. There are two modes to multiplayer, Killing Box and Assault. Killing Box is basically the TV player surviving against a bunch of zombies that the gamepad player summons until the TV player dies. The more fun and strategic Assault mode is where the survivor competes against the King of Zombies to capture points on the map. The survivor has to kill zombies to stay alive and maintain control of a point until it's captured. Meanwhile, the player using the gamepad strategizes with point capturing zombies and different types of zombies that attack the survivor. Both players can unlock new things to help them as they play. The survivor can get bonus med packs and weapons, and the King of Zombies can get more zombies to deploy like armored, spitter, and explosive zombies. Overall, the multiplayer is a fun mode that demonstrates the Wii U's abilities for asymmetrical gameplay, a nice action-packed diversion from the main campaign. And there's also the amusing diversion in the form of a bonus feature where you can hold the gamepad up to your face and see what you would look like as a zombie. It's good for a laugh. When you play ZombiU, you get the sense that it could have been better, and frankly, it should have been better. If Ubisoft had spent more time on this game, it could have been something truly amazing. And if Ubisoft was confident enough to make a sequel, they could make all the needed improvements and get a series going with a deeper story. But despite the flaws, this is still a great game that is very worthy and fitting of the genre of survival horror. If you're a Wii U owner who loves challenging survival horror games and tormenting your friends as the King of Zombies, ZombiU is a great game to purchase. On that note, it's Halloween, and as per my Halloween tradition, it's time to party! This party seems a little dead. I should heat things up. Woo! Now that dance floor is smoking!